thank you for taking a minute to stop. I'm calling this, we're like meeting in the ladies' room. So.
Okay, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah,
That's so great.
live from Diva quarantine. So
Yes,
I am
exactly,
very happy to
Joyce.
have the wonderfully talented and all around good person, Miss Dawn Robinson.
Thank you
And
so much. I'm equally happy to be a part of this with you. Equally talented woman, equally kind, equally loving human being, Joyce Irby. The great Joyce Irby. Come on.
and how are you?
I am great. Thank you so much. I really am. Everybody keeps saying this whole, they'll say like, in these trying times, in these crazy times. I'm like, no, this is just a part of what the planet is doing right now. It's not something that we understand. So for everybody, and including me, it's a little like, what's going on? But I'm good. I'm getting more done now than I was before COVID. I'll tell you that much. It's,
That's
because
beautiful.
people are home, so you kind of have to force yourself. You don't have a whole lot of options, so you're just kind of
Yes,
focusing on what you have to do.
yes,
Hmm.
yes.
How are you?
I'm okay. Well, as you said earlier, wait, what did you accuse me of? Sitting in the house by myself doing what?
Paranoid. What did I say? What did I say?
Joyce, you're the only one sitting at home by yourself wearing a mask.
Exactly, wearing a mask. I see people in their cars. I'm like, take your mask off. Off. They're wearing their mask in the car and nobody else with them. Oh my God, it's funny. And I have a habit of coming out of the store and I have mine on too. But then I'm like, quickly, because it's 111 degrees out here sometimes. You can't
Listen,
breathe as it is.
Hey, listen.
It's insane.
I get it. Isn't it the 30th anniversary of En Vogue?
Oh my God, it is. It is the 30th anniversary. 30 freaking years, Joyce.
So, well,
30 years.
listen,
Like that is just, oh my gosh.
how do
Wow.
you, I mean, would you mind talking a little bit about that and how you
I don't
feel
mind at
about it?
all.
Even like in
Yeah.
the beginning, like how you felt when it all started, you
No,
know?
I'm glad you asked me and I appreciate you allowing me to talk about it on your platform. But um, I feel there's a few reasons that I decided not to do the 30-year anniversary. We tried to do a reunion recently.
Oh, you mean
Sylvia
like a
Rome,
tour?
one more time?
You mean like a tour?
We were going to do a tour, a slight tour. They didn't want it. Cindy and Terry controlled the whole thing. And I was feeling like Maxine and I don't really have a say so. We just have to do what they say.
I am.
And our ideas and our input wasn't listened to. They didn't hear us at all on anything. And we did a show for Sylvia Rohn is the head of our label, who signed us to En Vogue in 1989.
Yeah.
And she wanted us to do something because she has a friend who has cancer, unfortunately, and she's doing something for the Cancer Society. Sorry, no, it was a hospital in Los Angeles, and she asked us to do it.
Okay.
And we performed with each other. It was a huge thing. It was like we went viral for the first time on the internet. We broke the internet that night, like Maxine and
I'm
I coming
sure. I
back.
saw one of the pictures and I posted it, and people were like, "Oh my God! Oh my God!"
Exactly.
You
It
guys
was
look
so amazing.
fabulous, and
It
you
was
look like
amazing,
it
Joyce.
was. I
Thank
thought it
you.
was like 1992.
Yes. Oh, it was
Yeah.
amazing. But that's how it felt. It was that magical. And but the whole time, before I even went to LA to rehearse, because we had 3 days of rehearsal prior. And before we even went, when the girls asked me at first, I said no. And Maxine asked me to do it. She said, Dawn, this will really be a good look for her and I, because we were trying to work on a project together.
Yeah.
So for her, I said yes. I decided to do it. And then I asked Cindy and Terry's manager if I could have someone come and film for Maxine and I, because we were trying to put together what I call a diva-mentary.
Yeah.
Not a documentary, yeah, a diva-mentary. And at first he said yes. Then the next day he called me, he said, Dawn, unfortunately the girls don't want you to film. And I said, well, I understand. We haven't been seen together. We haven't seen each other in 9 years, 11 years, something more than that, 13 years. So I understand they didn't want me filming. And I said, and Maxine and I are agreeing too. I mean, right now we need a lot of work because we hadn't been rehearsing in a while. We forgot dance steps and stuff that just wasn't coming right to our mind. So I was like, you know what? I won't have him come film the first day, but what if I have him come the next day? And he said, okay, I'll find out. I'll let you know.
Okay.
And that next day, he never said anything. We left rehearsal. So we had 2 days of rehearsal without him saying a word. The third day of rehearsal, Maxine asked him, and she said, Dawn is wondering, we need this for us. We won't film the girls, just Maxine and I. And he said, unfortunately, they don't want you to film at all. And I said, so we can't film ourselves because Cindy and Terry say we can't film anything.
Wow.
It's like they didn't trust us at all. And again, it's their way, and we have to just abide by what they say. They say they don't want to be filmed. We're not going to film. But the whole time, Rona, who's the other member of the group, or Cindy and Terry's version of En Vogue, being shady a little bit, yes, I am. Rona was filming the whole time and taking photos. The whole time. And Maxine chopped her up one time. She said, Rona, stop taking pictures. And Rona was like, I'm not going to put them on social media. And Max was like, I don't care. They told Dawn and I that we can't film and we can't take pictures, and here you are just clicking away, And Cindy and Terry, Rona asked us all to do what they call a boomerang on Instagram. And Cindy and Terry got up and they're like running over to get into this boomerang. And I'm like, wow. So you guys are going to get in her boomerang and let her take a picture, but I can't take any pictures at all. So I'm missing out on the whole reunion of En Vogue. You know what I mean? It was just
Painful.
Someone who was very painful. I mean, because I'm not taking anything away from Rona, but this is our 30-year anniversary. Rona wasn't there from the beginning, and I felt like she should have just taken a seat back or just stepped back and let us do our thing without her involved. And Cindy was like, well, Rona's been with us for 13 years. She's been with us longer than you and Maxine. And I said, well, Rona didn't help build this from the beginning, though. And I understand she's been here a long time. So when the 13-year reunion comes for you and Rona and Terry, you guys celebrate that. But for the 30 years, give us that with our fans. Just with our fans by ourselves without Rona being involved. And they weren't willing to do that. And like I said, I couldn't film anything. I didn't get any kind of documentary. I couldn't document us coming back together.
That was
and
like
it really felt
moment. So
it was
the value of being able to reflect on that visually and see it and share it with people who really wanted to miss you and Maxine as well.
Yeah, and the fact that Rona was getting it like it was no problem. Nobody said anything to her, and I felt like, wow, you guys treat her like she is. You know what I mean? They didn't hold her accountable the way they were doing with me. It was just no. Like, you can't do anything. But Rona can do everything and not even ask. She was just clicking until she asked for the boomerang, and that's the only time she really said anything. But other than that, it was no for me and Maxine. And then the guy that was going to film, he lived in Anaheim, so we were in LA. He was about 45 minutes away. And the last day, Maxine asked their manager again, can he just come film today? This is the day of the show. Can he film this at least? Just with Maxine and I. And he said, I'll get back to you. And I'm still waiting. I still haven't gotten the okay from Cindy and Terry's manager. And I was done. At that point, I said no. Because they treat Maxine and I like we're second-class citizens, like we don't belong. And we are work for hire. When in reality, Rona is work for hire, we are the original members and we're not treated with that same respect. So I was like, okay, this is not meant for, sometimes I used to fight to stay in the group or to fight for my rights within the group.
I get it.
And now you understand because you've been there. Heck yeah. But now I'm just like, I'm sorry. They keep putting stuff on my screen. Now I'm like, I forgot that my hand's going to be in the way. Hello.
It's all good, Dawn.
So now I feel like you just have to let go. You just have to let go. Maxine used to try to keep want to keep the name En Vogue and use the name En Vogue because we put in equity. It's like selling a home and you don't get any of the money that you put into that house all those years when you sell it.
Let me say one thing. Like Howard Hewitt and I have had all these questions about, because you know Howard, he's
exactly.
Like, we have all made deposits year after year after year.
Exactly.
And all the time grinding when nothing was happening, and then getting our first little advance and working together and building. It's like we're putting deposits and deposits, and then all of a sudden, like one person maybe wants to take. I'm not talking about your case, but just in general.
I understand.
One person decides they have the right to use the name, and they take everything that you've put in. It's sort of like somebody ripping your guts out.
Exactly.
To a degree. And yeah, you have to figure out how to let go, but it's like when people say stuff to me about, well, why aren't you working with the other original members? Real quick, well, they threw me out because I was doing too much, but I'm not going to stop singing I Miss You or the Menopause or I'd Still or any of the songs that fans want to hear me sing because they were upset and didn't want to work with me. God, everybody do what you do. But when you think about somebody ripping part of your legacy from you, it's painful.
It's very painful, Joyce. Well, you said that one time to Maxine and I, you put it so eloquently because you've been through it, so you understood. And the way you put it, though, was you said they hurt us in a way that is, you can't repair that. They took something from us. That's how you put it. They took something from us that we weren't allowed to use the name at all. Even though we helped create the name En Vogue would not have been what it was without Maxine, Cindy, Terry, and Dawn. We all contributed, yet they're the only ones who get to benefit from the name. And then they have the nerve to tell us that we can't use it. Wow.